Hey boys and girls, today's activity is going to be all about speed. That's right, running speed. So we're going to show you different ways to perform sprints. Now some of you might say, well, I'm not really that fast, but the truth is that you can always get faster. You may not ever be as fast as you want to be, but you can always improve. So whether you're going to do this by yourself or with a partner, follow along and we'll show you how it works. Now the only thing you're gonna need for this activity today is some open grass space, whether that's a backyard, a front yard, a nearby park. But we want you running on grass just in case you trip and fall. It's not gonna be as bad as if you fell on concrete or asphalt. And if you're doing this by yourself, you just need a couple things to mark off some distance. We use cones when we're at school, but you can use anything, a pair of shoes, water bottles, whatever you need to do to mark the distance that you'll be sprinting. And if you have somebody who would like to do this with you, go ahead and grab a partner because there'll be some opportunities to race and play some tag versions as well. Before we begin our warm-up and start sprinting, I want you to learn a little bit about running technique. Now the two most common ways to run faster is to increase your stride length, meaning the space between your feet when they land and hit the ground, or your stride frequency, which means how fast your legs are moving. Now both of those require a lot of practice and effort, but if you follow the next video that's going to teach you all about running mechanics and technique, you'll have a much better chance of increasing your speed over time. A couple important things for sprinting technique is how you land on your foot. We don't want to land on our toes or our heels. We want a mid-foot strike where our heel just misses the ground. We want to keep our body level and still instead of bouncing as we run. We want a knee that comes up high in front to lengthen our stride. We want our foot to land directly underneath us. We want a nice tall upright posture instead of bending over and leaning. We want to extend our leg behind us completely, swing our arm from the shoulder with our elbow high up behind us, and a nice still head, level head position. Before doing any kind of speed work, we want to make sure our body is warmed up and ready to run at its best top speed. So follow these warm-up exercises that you're going to see in the next few videos and get your body ready to run as fast as you can. Let's begin our warm-up by performing 50 to 100 jumping jacks. This will get our body warmed up and ready to go. The high knee tuck with a forward lunge and twist is a great way to loosen up your hips and get your legs ready for sprinting. Perform 3 to 5 on each leg for a total of 6 to 10 reps. The quad pull plus backward lunge and reach is a great way to stretch out the quads on the front of your legs. The backward lunge with a reach is another good way to stretch out the hip flexors. Perform 3 to 5 reps on each side. To perform the figure 4 leg cradle, grab your foot with one hand and your knee with the other hand and pull them both up towards your stomach. Do 5 on each leg. Perform toy soldiers by kicking up to the hand in front of your face. Do 5 on each leg to loosen up your hamstrings. Side to side or lateral lunges are a great way to stretch out your inner thighs and your groin where the adductor muscles are located. Do 5 on each leg for a total of 10 lunges. High knees should be done for 10 to 15 yards with good arm action. Now perform a high knee run, but kick yourself in the bottom as you lift your knee up. Perform a regular forward skip for 10 to 15 yards. Now skip backwards for 10 to 15 yards. A power skip should go as high as possible with very little forward travel. Now that you're nice and warmed up, let's do some sprints on our own. There's 2 different distances. We have 20 meters for my younger students. That would be TK, Kinder, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And then we have 30-meter distance for our 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. It's not too long, but it's also not too short. It gives you a nice length to develop your top speed. So these first videos are just gonna be by yourself, working on your running technique and different starting positions, so follow along. To get set for this activity, you're gonna place a cone or a marker down and then take 20 to 30 large steps as you walk forward. 20 is for TKK first, second, and third grade, and 30 meters would be for our fourth, fifth, and sixth graders. Once the cones are set, or whatever you use to mark, we are ready for the activity. A 2-point stance requires one foot to be in front and the other in back. When you begin, dive and drive and sprint through the finish line. A 3-point stance looks just like the 2-point stance, but with one hand in front of your lead foot. For a lateral or sideways start, simply stand facing sideways and then take off by pushing off your back foot. The push-up start requires you to start in a plank position as if you just finished doing a push-up. Now perform the push-up starts from a sideways position, adding a lateral component to the takeoff. The most difficult push-up start is the reverse position. You've got to pop up to your feet and then make a complete 180-degree turn before you sprint to the finish line. This variation requires you to start laying face down on your stomach, then perform a push-up before you pop to your feet and begin your sprint. Another version of the stomach start requires you to face backwards before popping up to your feet and beginning your sprint. A lying down on your back start requires you to roll over, pop up to your feet, and then sprint to the finish line. And finally, the hardest of the starting positions is lying down on your back in a reverse position with your head away from the finish line. Now it's time to do some speed work with a partner. Some of these will be races, some of them will be like games of tag, but all you need is someone that is similar to you in speed. That could be a sibling, a cousin, a friend, or even a parent. So grab your partner and follow these next couple of videos. Partner races are a great way to challenge your top end speed and to shoot for a goal of beating your partner or tying them at the finish line. Having someone chase you from behind encourages you to run faster so you don't get tagged, and also gives them a goal of trying to catch up and tag you. Burpee tag requires the person in front to perform a burpee on the very start of their movement. The person behind them can start chasing to try and catch them or tag. Well, boys and girls, that's our sprinting activity for today. Remember, like anything, it's going to take practice and time, so be patient, but put in the work. Always remember that sprinting is more than just running as fast as you can. It's about proper technique, the way you use your arms and your legs and your posture, and it will develop over time. So as long as you're consistent and put in the effort, you will get faster. So thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.